Good morning, good morning, good morning, everyone. We are in day 4 of the 10K and 5-day challenge for tax professionals, bookkeepers, accountants, and financial coaches. So we've been talking about over the past 3 days on really how to set the foundation for your practice. In day 1, we talked about the importance of choosing a niche and just, really making your marketing more highly targeted and more highly leveraged. In day 2, we really talked about going over the consultation, having that sales call with your ideal clients and walking you through on what that process looks and sounds like. You aren't coaching this person on the call. You aren't, giving them the exact tax strategies or bookkeeping or finance. You're telling them what's going to happen by you guys working together, them onboarding you as their client and you onboarding them as theirs, what the benefits of having you working with them on their taxes, their bookkeeping, their accounting. And day 3, yesterday, we took action. So I told you yesterday to pull out your cell phone, look at all of your contacts, and really pull up to see who's self-employed, who owns a business, and to start reaching out to people. I gave you a simple script to text people to really start booking those strategy sessions. So today and tomorrow, you should have some telephone calls lined up with people already in your sphere of influence, already in your database to speak to. And I want you to use that script that we went over in day 2 to walk through that sales conversation and onboard clients. Guys, you're going to get clients this way. These are people who already know you, who already like you, who already trust you. So you should be able to onboard them as a client. Now in day 4, we are almost rounding out this challenge. Day 4, we are going to talk about really the math to making $120,000, $250,000, and $1 million within your practice. We're going to go over some numbers just to kind of wrap your head around how doable it really is to actually build a multiple 6-figure accounting and tax firm, and why it's important to do so, because this is an asset that you're building up. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to quickly share this in the Facebook group, because this is a challenge specifically for my people. So I have to get them on board. We have to share this. So give me about 10 seconds and we're going to go ahead and dive deep into day 4. I wish I knew a quicker way to do this. So if you know a quicker way, maybe if there's a way that I can share prior to going live, I'm not sure, but if you know any strategies on Facebook on how to share this stuff prior to, that would be great. Drop those comments below. All right, so let's scroll and here we go. Share. Okay, we shared that. All right, so day 4, we're really going to go over the client mix and really talk about the math to really hitting $20,000 per month in your business. Well, really in increments. I want to talk about $10,000 per month first, and then talk about $20,000, and then we're going to talk about scaling that up to $84,000 per month in your business, and really building and setting the foundation for a 7-figure firm, which is totally doable and achievable. So let's talk about the different types of services you can offer. A little quick coffee really quick. So when I started about several years ago, my very first bookkeeping client was a property manager. And I remember getting a call out of the blue, and they're like, hey, we found your card at some restaurant, and we want you to come in and take a look to see if you can take over our bookkeeping for us. And some of you may know this story. Hey, Megan. Some of you may know this story because I sent this out on my email list, but when I went in and they actually gave me the scope of what they wanted me to take over, pretty much what they wanted me to do was be their full charge bookkeeper. They wanted me to handle their day-to-day bookkeeping, their accounts receivable, their accounts payable, just recording all of those transactions, actually processing every last financial transaction that came into their business. So that's called a full charge bookkeeper. And keep that in mind because we're going to go over that in just a few. And by me being a new, accountant, bookkeeper, tax professional, I was completely nervous on taking control and handling every aspect of accounting for this business. And so what I did, I ended up declining the job. I said, no, I really don't feel comfortable. I don't feel like I'm ready to take on that job. And I remember leaving there and I was kicking myself the entire way through. I was like, why would I turn down this job? Because at the time it was, I believe it was $1,500 per month that they were offering me. It was about $14,000 per year just with this one client, with being their full charge bookkeeper. And I was like, oh my God, I can't believe I just turned down a $14,000 per year job, per year client. And I remember talking to Javay. Hey Javay, she's a life coach. And she told me, she was like, she really just helped me up-level my mindset. She said, have you ever worked a job where you were new? You didn't know what was going on and you just had to learn as you go? I was like, yeah, all of my jobs. And, I excel at everything that, every job that I've had, I've always gotten a raise and promotion pretty much every year when I was in corporate America. And she was like, well, this is the same thing. You just have to learn as you go. You're going to go in doing your best, but I want you to go back to them, tell them that you changed your mind, let them, and she was like, tell them the truth, tell them that you were nervous to take on their entire accounting department because you are new, but after reassessing it and learning more about the industry, tell them that you're confident you can get the job done. And I thought she was crazy. I remember laughing hysterically. I'm like, I cannot go back to this business owner and say, hey, I'm not scared anymore. I'm ready to take on your books. And she was like, no, you're not going to say like that. You're just going to be honest with them and let them know that you reassessed the situation and that now you're confident you can get the job done. So I was petrified. I'm like, I'm 23 years old, fresh out of school. I'm like, I have no idea what I'm doing. I'm way over my head. But I ended up following her advice and I went back to the owner. And I told them, I was like, listen, I'm new. And when you guys proposed me taking over your whole accounting department, that kind of freaked me out. But after actually learning about it, I even practiced on QuickBooks. I even created mock companies that was identical to his company. I created a mock company in QuickBooks just to wrap my head around what that process would look like. So I was all in. I really was dedicated. So when he saw that, he was like, sure. You got it. So when that happened, we actually went to the price conversation and he asked me, where did I want to be at with price? And I had actually increased my price. I was like, well, I'm looking at about $2,000 per month. Well, $500 per week. And, they were like, that's kind of steep. And I'm just sitting there because Javay actually fed into my mindset. She fed into just my spirit, guys. And sidebar, having people in your corner who actually believe in you, who you actually can talk to in your time of need and despair is so crucial to your success. If you do not have people that you can turn to and who's going to actually push you to move forward, push you and give you that inspiration and confidence to move forward, I'm telling you, you really need to, if you don't have those people in your life, you need to really think about investing in some sort of mentor or coach that can actually be that for you. Because had I not done that, had I not had somebody in my corner actually feeding life into me, actually motivating me, actually telling me, no, you can do this, you will do this, I don't know where I would be. Like, I really don't know, what my career in accounting would have looked like. I don't know how long it would have took for me to finally get a client and finally feel secure. So I want you to really understand, like, having people in your corner is important. So when it came to the price situation, I told him $2,000. It was a little bit back and forth, but eventually he saw the value of it. And so I say that to say there are different services that you're going to be able to offer in order to hit your income goal. A lot of you that I've been speaking to, you want to at least make $10,000 per month. That would allow you to transition from your 9-to-5 job. And $10,000 per month is completely and utterly possible within like really the next 60 days, guys. Because we're talking about accounting, bookkeeping, and taxes. These are done for you services. People pay quicker for done for you services. It's just really about finding your ideal clients who can actually afford to pay the amount of pricing that you are trying to command. So just for instance, let's just say you are completely and terribly, scared to charge a premium price. Okay. Let's just say you're going to charge $500 per month. Just for some basic bookkeeping, okay? You're just doing basic bookkeeping, nothing else. At 500 clients per month, in order to make $120,000 per year, which would be $10,000 per month, you will be looking at about 17 clients, 22 clients. You'll be looking at about 21 clients total, okay? 21 clients total at $500 per month. So over the next 12 months, so let's just play with some numbers here. Over the next 12 months, if you only need 21 bookkeeping clients to make $126,000, that means, really guys, you only need to onboard 2 people per month. Is that 2 people per month? Yep, 2 people per month. So this is totally doable to onboard 2 people per month over the next 12 months and hit that $126,000 income goal at $500 per month. Now, if you're charging the $500, it's probably not going to take you maybe about an hour to an hour and a half to really do their books per month. Because if you're charging $500, it shouldn't be a lot of, it shouldn't be any really accounts receivable or accounts payable. You probably aren't going to be doing that. You're probably just going to be reconciling the bank statement and printing out the financial statements, making sure that, everything is on the up and up. You're actually processing the financial processing the financial transactions, their receipts and expenses and things like that. That should only take you maybe 1 to 2 hours per month. So if you're looking at 20 clients, really that's only on the low end 20 hours per month. You can do that part-time while still working your 9-to-5 if you wanted to, or just transition into a full-time income. Now, when you want to look at mixing in your services, really tiering some of your service levels, because not every business is going to need the same thing. Not every business is going to want you to do the same thing. And so you'll probably have, maybe a full charge bookkeeping contract with someone where you're actually taking over their entire bookkeeping system, their accounting system. You're recording every last financial transaction within their business. That would typically be about anywhere between, on the low end, $1,300 per month, all the way up to about, $2,000, $2,500 per month, depending on the size of the business and its revenue. I think one of my second or third clients was another full charge bookkeeping position. And I think they were bringing in about $14,000 per month, and I was being paid around $2,000 per month, or it was like $1,500, $2,000 per month. So guys, if you really try to focus on doing the full charge bookkeeping first, really try to find a company that needs you to just take on all of the to record all of the financial transactions. You only really need a handful of those to make a good income. So for instance, if we just wanted to be and do full charge bookkeeping at, let's just say, $1,500 per month, and in order to make $240,000, let's do $240,000, you will only really need about 14 of those clients to make $250,000 per year. 14 of those clients, charging them about $1,500 per month. So what I want you to look at is what type of services do you want to offer into your business? Are you offering bookkeeping? Are you just doing tax preparation? I would highly recommend doing a mix of services. It's just more highly leveraged, and because every business that you're going to be talking to, they're going to need some level of bookkeeping, accounting, accounts receivable, accounts payable, and you can still do their business tax return as well as their personal tax return. And even if you have to outsource that work, a few of you will be interested in taking on those monthly clients and then just simply outsourcing the work to other bookkeepers in the network. So I want you to really think about that. What types of services do you want to do in your business? And so let me just give you a few definitions. So full charge bookkeepers, you're solely responsible for recording all of the accounting transactions. Normally you're recording the accounts payable, you're issuing the invoices to collect from customers. You calculate, pay, and issue payments to employees. You're creating the financial statements. You're emitting payroll taxes, sales tax, use tax, income tax, and you're reconciling the bank accounts and petty cash. And then you collect info as needed for any annual audits. And then you monitor the cash levels of the business and maintain, the chart of accounts in a coherent system that you can go by. That is pretty much what every business needs, is a full charge bookkeeper or bookkeeping. So this service is the easiest to sell. It's the easiest to get clients into your business by offering these, full charge bookkeeping services. Second, you can do CFO services. So CFO services is when you are taking the information. You are taking financial information and actually advising on it to your clients. So you are looking at the financial information. You are looking at the profit margins. You are looking at the economy and how things are flowing. You are looking at different nuances of the business, and you are advising your clients on actions to take in order to increase profits, in order to make more money, save more money, in order to increase, employee productivity. You are interpreting the financial information and advising them on how can we help you grow your business. And when you do a mix of both, because typically what I found, because the average small business owner from I think it was the SBA, they make under like $150,000 per year. So typically, it'd probably be best to do a CFO and bookkeeper type of hybrid role, to where you're actually recording the transactions, because typically a CFO doesn't record any transactions. They just oversee the transactions. But normally when you're talking about small business owners who are making, $150,000 to, $550,000 or even $1 million per year, you're typically going to be everything to the business. You're going to be, doing the bookkeeping. You're going to be advising them on how to make and save more money, looking for tax reduction strategies. You're typically going to be their go-to person. And if you could just find a handful of those folks who, who make a couple $100,000 per year upwards to, over $1 million, but they still can't afford, a salary of $150,000 to, for someone to just advise on their business, they still need those day-to-day transactions reconciled or really inputted into the system. They still need their expenses allocated and all that good stuff. But they still would love to have an advisor such as yourself who can actually interpret the information, interpret the financials to really show them how they can make and save more money, how they can increase profit margins. So I want you to be thinking about your mix of services. What exactly do you want to offer in your firm? Because the more value you can give, the more you can charge. But what I really want you to understand is that these are done for you services. You are doing the work for them, and so it's value just in that. Okay, it's value just you coming on and taking on the bookkeeping, you coming on, taking on the accounts payable or the accounts receivable. I was looking at a new client's accounts receivable just the other day, and they had about $40,000 in uncollected income. $40,000. So when I'm looking at my value and my worth and how much I'm charging this client, it feels, I'm justified and charging them over $2,000 per month to handle their bookkeeping and accounts payable and accounts receivable. Because I know when I go in there, I'm going to be able to actually do the work that they are unable to do because they're busy growing a multi-million-dollar business. They're busy doing their work, that they don't have time to, run after customers and chase down invoices, which is still a vital aspect of a business. So let's see, what software do you recommend for bookkeeping? Megan, I use QuickBooks. All my clients use QuickBooks. What I found though, Megan, is that different industries have very specific software that they use to run their business. For instance, I have an auto mechanic and he uses a system called Mitchell's, and it's actually an accounting system for auto mechanics where they can put all of their jobs into this system. They could, it tabulates everything. It's a software, a business software, a business and accounting software specifically for auto mechanics called Mitchell's. So what I do, I take his system, I extract all of that, important information because it already segments, how much he's paying per contractor, how much each job was. Like, it literally does everything for you. It's like an accountant in a box for auto mechanics. So what I found is that there are a lot of industries that have very specific accounting softwares that's just built for their system. And so what you'll probably end up doing is doing a hybrid of their system and extracting that information and then putting that into QuickBooks to really, tabulate the financial statement. So that's what I do for quite a few clients. Whatever system they're using, such as his is Mitchell's for auto mechanics, I extract that information that I need from it, and then I do his regular day-to-day financials, his bank statements, reconciling the bank statements, doing his reconciliations in QuickBooks. But I kind of, use Mitchell's information and put that over to QuickBooks. But QuickBooks is my go-to. I mean, gosh, I've been using it since I was 10. A fun fact. When I was 10 years old, I was playing on QuickBooks and creating mock company profiles in my head because I always wanted to do something in the finance or accounting field. Since I was 10 years old, I was creating mock companies. So that's like a fun little, that just goes to show you that I've been, really geeking out on this stuff forever. Hey, Darius, how are you? Do you have about really your service mix? We went over full, being a full charge bookkeeper, taking on the accounts payable, the accounts receivable, reconciling the bank statements, really going over all of the really processing all of the financial information. And then we talked about CFO services, which is you interpreting the financial information and really advising the client on how to make and save more money, how to increase profit margins. So I want you to tell me what your mix, what do you think you would be? If you're catching the replay, post it below. And then adding on that tax work. I mean, tax work is just gravy money because you get all of this money in one lump sum in a very short period of time. And I call that gravy money. You really don't want to live off your tax income. It's super hard and super impossible to live off your tax income for an entire year if you want to remotely have a good lifestyle, unless you're charging, $20,000 for a tax engagement, then that's another story. But if you're just charging a couple hundred dollars and you think that you just want to get hundreds and hundreds of clients in, one, you're going to need support to help you process the returns, and two, it's a short period of time, so you only can do so much, right? Whereas bookkeeping and accounting, like, you can scale that up throughout the year. You actually can take on as many clients as you want and as you need it and scale that up and just, outsource some of the work or increase your prices to where you're really charging premium for them. But my typical service mix is I offer my clients bookkeeping. I do CFO services, so I love, and I didn't even know what a CFO service was when I first got into business. Actually, I didn't understand what the different roles meant. I just knew that I love to help small business owners. So since I've been in business, I've helped well over 1,000 business owners since I've been in business, plus thousands of, you know, regular individuals with their tax returns, but I just love to advise people on how to make more money, how to grow their business. And I had no idea that that was really called CFO services. So what you want to do, you want to kind of do like a hybrid. You want to be able to offer, you know, really that advisory package. I want you guys to learn how to help these people make and save more money, how to increase profit margins, because that's just going to really differentiate you from just being this, you know, after the fact bookkeeper where you're just recording the receipts. You know, you're actually being of service and being of value. So really try to up level your knowledge around what it is that you need to be looking at in regards to this business and their profitability. What are some aspects of their business that you can help them, you know, make and save more money on? Is it restructuring? Is it, you know, certain insurance plans? Whatever the case may be, I want you to be constantly thinking about how can I help this business make and save more money? There are certain ways that you can actually increase employee productivity by implementing, you know, different employee plans, or employee incentives, or just any profit sharing. Like, there are different ways that you can kind of be an advisor to these small businesses that would actually help them be more profitable and be more successful in the long end. And that's just going to help you, because this is going to be, you're increasing your lifetime value for this client. I read, I think QuickBooks did a study that they said the average business stays with their accountant for 7 years. And while that might sound great, 7 years, because if you get a client, you know, that's paying you, if you get a client that's paying you, you know, $2,000 per month, and they're staying with you for 7 years, like that's, you know, a few $100,000. But why they say business owners leave their accountants, they go somewhere else, because they simply felt indifferent. They were indifferent. They felt that, you know, they could take you or leave you, right? And you don't want your clients to feel like they could take you or leave you. You want them to feel like, no, I need this person. I don't want to let them go. They are so much value and so much, you know, they help just save me time and overwhelm, and I'm more confident about the future. You want your clients to not, you know, say, well, yeah, I could take her or leave her, or I could take them or leave them. You want them to stick around over the long term, okay? You want to increase your lifetime value for each client. So guys, if you have any questions, pop them below. I'm super excited because we are rounding out this 10K in 5-day challenge. Tomorrow is our last day in the challenge, and I want to hear that you've gotten on the phone with people, that you are having sales consultations with your database. If you have to rewatch day 3's video, go ahead and rewatch that. But I want you to be speaking to small business owners now, and I want you booking clients now. So if you need extra support, go ahead. Like I said, I'm super accessible. You can inbox me, message me, send me a message. I'll definitely reply back to you. But tomorrow we're really going to round out everything and really try to help you build out this virtual business. You know, before, you know, several years ago, I felt like I had to open up a brick and mortar. I felt like I needed to invest thousands and thousands of dollars in rents and utilities and have this brick and mortar on a busy street in order to get clients. Like, that was the misconception, because, you know, you're looking at, you know, big brands in the industry such as like H&R Block or things like that, and you're like, well, they're on every corner, they're in all of the neighborhoods, so, you know, surely that's what I need to do as well. And guys, that's not the case, because now, you know, the internet has really changed the landscape in which how we do business. So now we can service clients from all over the world if we wanted to. More specifically, within the United States, we can do their bookkeeping, we can do their accounting, we can do their taxes without ever, you know, meeting them in person. Okay, so tomorrow I really want to help you build out that virtual business. I'm going to tell you the systems that I use and really, in order to get my practice to be virtual, I'm going to tell you kind of like the procedures that I go by to really kind of onboard a client to where they actually feel comfortable. Because, you know, for some clients it may be some resistance. Like, I had a gentleman yesterday in California. He asked me, he was like, do you have offices in California? and I completely bypassed the question, and I said, we service clients all over the country. Let's hop on a telephone call tomorrow. So, you know, it's not really about, do I have offices? He just wants to know, am I able to really provide good value and good service to him, not being in the same state as him? So you want to reassure them, I have clients all over the country. This is how we operate. This is what we do. So I'm going to show you what systems and things that I use to really build my practice virtual. And guys, if you're catching the replay, you have any questions, pop them below. I will be going back through and seeing and responding to any of your questions or comments. And I will see you tomorrow, 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, our last day in the 10K and 5-day challenge. And I hope you've been booking strategy sessions and really gearing up to onboard clients now. Talk to you soon. Bye.